Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep, and I mean really deep, into LangGraph. This is the library that's fundamentally changing how we can build sophisticated, stateful AI agents. So if you've ever hit a wall with those simple, linear agent frameworks, then this one's for you.
Okay, so look at this. On the left, you've got your basic stateless chain. It's a one-way street, right? Input goes in, output comes out. Simple. But for the kind of agents we really want to build, agents that can reason, use tools, and actually correct themselves, we need what's on the right, a dynamic, stateful graph that can loop back on itself and make decisions. And that is the fundamental problem LangGraph is built to solve.
So here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the big why. Then we'll get into the core idea of thinking about graphs as state machines. From there, we'll break down the key components, look at how to create advanced control flows, see how it all comes together in common agent designs, and finally, we'll talk about the future of orchestration and why this all matters.
All right, let's dive right in. Why do we even need LangGraph? You know those high-level agent frameworks? They're awesome for getting started, but pretty soon you realize they're kind of a black box. They hide all the decision-making. When you need to build something complex, something bespoke, with custom logic for retries or tool use, you need more control. You need a lower-level framework to orchestrate every single step.
And this is really the key takeaway here. LangGraph isn't trying to be another high-level agent library. It's a foundational orchestration framework. It's like it gives you the raw building blocks to map out exactly how your agent thinks and acts. This means you can build pretty much anything you can imagine, from a simple React loop to a whole team of collaborating agents, and you have complete control over the entire process.
Okay, so how does it give you all this control? Well, the whole paradigm shifts. Instead of a simple chain, LangGraph treats agent workflows as state machines. This is a huge change from those stateless pipelines we saw earlier.
And probably the easiest way to wrap your head around this is the shared whiteboard analogy. Just imagine the state is a giant whiteboard in the middle of a room. It's the shared memory. Any part of your agent, what we call a node, can walk up to the whiteboard, read everything on it, and then add its own new information for everyone else to see. That context sticks around for the entire job.
So what we're looking at here is just the formal definition of that idea. Each node in the graph is just a function. It gets the entire current state, does its job, and then, and this is crucial, it returns just the updates to that state. This is what makes the whole thing truly stateful. It's not just passing data from one step to the next, it's operating on a shared, evolving memory.
Okay, so with that concept of a state machine in our heads, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are the three core components of any LangGraph app? We've got the state, the nodes, and the edges.
First up is the state itself. You define it with a really clear structure using something like Python's typed dict. Now that annotated part you see there, that's super important. It's metadata that tells LangGraph how to update this field. See, normally, if you updated a value, it might just get replaced. But here, operator.add tells LangGraph to append new messages to the list, not overwrite them. It's this level of explicit control that's so powerful.
All right, next up, nodes. These are basically the workhorses of the graph. They're just simple Python functions that follow this pattern. Take in the current state, do some work, like calling an LLM or a tool, and then return a dictionary with only the changes you want to make to the state. LangGraph's runtime handles the rest, merging those updates correctly.
And that brings us to edges. So, if the nodes are the stations where work gets done, the edges are literally the train tracks that connect them. They define the whole sequence of operations. Every graph you build will have a designated start point to kick things off, and at least one end point to tell it when the job is done.
Okay, so we've got the basic building blocks down. But honestly, this next part is where LangGraph really starts to blow your mind. This is how we use those simple pieces to build agents that can think, that can decide to use a tool, or even go back and correct a mistake.
Let's talk about conditional edges. Instead of just connecting node A directly to node B, you can stick a router in the middle. This is just a special node that looks at the current state. Maybe it checks if the AI just asks to use a tool, and then it decides which path to take next. This is how you bake decision-making and branching logic right into your agent's workflow.
And what's so cool is how simple the implementation is. This router is just a Python function. It takes the state, does a check, and returns a string. That string's name just has to match an edge you've already defined. So here, if it sees a tool call, it returns continue, and the graph follows that path. If not, it returns end, and the graph knows it's finished. It's so clean and explicit.
But it gets even better. We can create cycles, or loops, just by pointing an edge from a later node back to an earlier one. And let me tell you,
This is a total game changer for building real agents. It's what lets you build those classic reason-act loops, where an agent can think, take an action, see what happens, and then loop back to think again with new information.
So we've got our state, nodes, edges, conditional logic, and loops. Now, what can we actually build with all this stuff? Let's see how these pieces come together to create some really powerful agent architectures.
Because of this graph-based, stateful design, you unlock some really critical capabilities for production systems. You get durable execution. This means your agent can save its state and pick up right where it left off, even if it crashes. You can easily build in human-in-the-loop steps, where the graph just pauses and waits for a person's approval. And you have total control over memory, tool calls, everything.
A perfect example of this in action is the classic React agent. Its thought-action-observation cycle is a perfect fit for a LangGraph loop. The LLM has a thought, a conditional edge routes it to a tool-using action node, the tool's observation gets added back to the state, and then an edge loops it all right back to the LLM to think again. It's a beautiful, explicit model of that process.
Okay, so let's pull back for a second and wrap this up. Why does all this low-level, explicit control over orchestration actually matter for where AI is headed?
The truth is, simple chatbots and agents are kind of hitting a wall in terms of reliability and what they can do. To build the next wave of autonomous systems, things like multi-agent teams or long-running research agents, we need to get our hands on the control flow. LangGraph essentially gives us the keys to the engine room.
And that really leaves us with one final big question. Now that we have a clear framework for building agents that can plan, remember, loop, and self-correct over long and complex jobs, what kinds of really hard problems are you now able to go out and automate? That's the question LangGraph empowers us to answer. Thanks for watching.